Hi folks, and welcome back to Broadside Gaming with me, Zug. So this is the second time I've had to record this because it went wrong the first time. But I did promise a more defensive version of the build that I released the other day. And this is it. Let's jump in and take a look at what we're using. So the weapons, pretty much the same. The Bully Club, the Brunt Basher Mark 3, Brunt Basher, sorry, Mark 3B. And the modifiers we're using are damage, mobility, finesse, and penetration, lol, and defense being our dump stat. As for the perks, we're going for Flak and Carapace, as Flak is the most prevalent armor type in the game, and Carapace is going to allow us to deal with crushers a lot more easier. And as for the blessings, we're going with Skull Crusher. Target receives 4 stacks of plus 10% damage if already staggered, last 5 seconds, and Momentum, which gives us hitting at least 3 enemies with an attack, restores 15% toughness. Now this is going to give us the ability to farm back toughness while we're fighting so that we can just face tank anything that's in front of us. And of course we're using the Grenadier Gauntlet. And again, I still have not fixed this. The modifiers, you need to switch melee damage and ammo. Ammo needs to be at 80, melee damage needs to be at 60. But everything else, blast damage, blast radius, and penetration, lol, is all at 80. And the perks we're going for are plus 25% damage to maniacs and plus 25% damage to flak armored enemies. We're taking maniac because we want to be able to reliably snipe trappers, bombers, and the sort without having to think too much about it. We need to be able to go, right, I've shot it, and now it's dead. Because trappers are going to be the thing that's going to cause you the most problems. And as you can see, deals them pretty easily. As for the blessings, we're taking pinpointing target plus 8% strength for every 0.4 seconds while aiming, stacking 5 times, discharge all stacks upon firing, and also explosive offensive, 15% strength bonus for 5 seconds after hitting multiple enemies with your weapon's special explosion. So let's talk about pinpointing target. As you can see, you brace and it stacks up down the bottom, and that's going to give us a lot more damage to more reliably kill what we're aiming at. The first 2 stacks are almost instantaneous, and the next 3 are pretty quick. So you aren't going to be hanging about waiting for them to stack up before you fire. And as for explosive offensive, we're mostly going to be using this to deal with mixed hordes, especially mixed hordes with lots of ragers and crushers in. What you want to be doing, it will only proc if you hit more than 3 or more enemies. So, as I said, mixed hordes, and to be able to access this, you use the extra action button, mine is mouse button 4, yours may vary, and it's something like this. And as you can see, we have that strength bonus now, but it doesn't restack very well. I mean, it does restack, but it only restacks if you're hitting more than 3 enemies. So in a big horde situation, it's incredibly useful. Otherwise, it doesn't do much. But that is the only time we're really going to be using this, during a mixed horde situation. Every other time, we're going to just be bracing and firing as and when we need to. And as for the Curios, we're using 2 plus 17% toughness and 1 max health plus 21%. Now, the toughness ones have got increased toughness, damage resistant snipers, and damage resistance gunners. And the max health Curio has max health, max toughness, and damage resistance gunners. Now, this does not give us the full 60% increased damage resistance gunners because there are diminishing returns. This gives us about 45%. But gunners are incredibly awful still, so this is a good way of protecting yourself from them. Now, as for the damage resistant snipers, this is mostly for if you're very new and you're not used to dealing with them yet, or if you're playing in Auric Damnation or the like. As at that time, it's going to be a lot harder to dodge them because you will get sniper hordes, where you can have anything up to 5 or 6 of them in the fight at a single time. Now, this isn't going to stop you from being killed if all 6 of them target you. You know, if that happens, then you're pretty much screwed. But if you're able to dodge a few of them and you get clipped by 1 or 2, the damage resistance here is going to help quite a lot. So that is just my thought process on why these are spec'd this way. Right, let's jump into the talents. We're starting off with Furious. For each enemy you hit during the same heavy melee attack, you gain 2.5% damage on your next melee attack. Into the Best Defense, replenish 20% toughness after hitting multiple enemies with a single heavy attack. Again, this is going to pair very nicely with Momentum. And then into plus 25% toughness, into Smash 'em, which gives us replenish 20% toughness after hitting a single enemy with a heavy melee attack. Into Heavyweight, again, if anyone ever tells you not to take this, they are wrong. Plus 30% damage against Bulwarks, Crushers, Plague Ogryns, and Reapers also receive plus 30% damage reduction against the same. Into Linchpin, toughness replenishment while incoherency is increased by 50%. You will always get somebody who thinks they are the main character and are having a main character moment where they will run off on their own. That's not really your problem. Toughness boost here into Frag Bomb. Throw an Ogryn-sized, the only proper kind, frag grenade with a 16-meter blast radius, dealing increased damage at the center. Now, didn't want to press that, meant to press G. Anyway, this is basically your horde clear, your emergency horde clear. If things are going wrong, people are downed, and everything's just getting overwhelmed, you drop this in the middle, and everything goes away. This basically allows you to reset one sketchy situation. So don't hold on to this for the entire game. Use it. You're just going to have to gauge it. But try not to keep hold of it for the entire game. This thing is there to be used. So if things have gone bad, as you can see, the radius and the explosion is just incredibly large. And it will clear out an entire horde for you. You can use this to clutch. So that is the Frag Bomb. And then we're going to be taking Soft Them Up. Enemies damaged by you take 15% more damage for 5 seconds. And then we're moving into Toughness damage reduction here and taking Loyal Protector. Taunt enemies within 8 meters, making them attack only you for 15 seconds. Base cooldown is 45 seconds. And then we're moving into Valuable Distraction. Enemies affected by Loyal Protector take 25% base damage from all sources. So this is how we're going to be controlling the fight. We're not a sword and board kind of tank. We are tanking by basically reducing the damage done to our teammates, putting the attention onto ourselves with our ability to farm back incredible amounts of toughness with our weapon and our other talents. And then from here, we're moving into Rending, which gives us plus 5% Rending, which works out to about plus 5% damage. Into Batter, which inflicts plus 4 stacks of bleed on heavy melee hit. Into Heavy Melee Damage Boost. Into Bonebreaker's Aura, which is also a heavy melee damage boost for you and your allies. Into Melee Damage Boost here. And then we're taking 2 Stubborn to Die, plus 100% toughness replenishment while below 33% health. Now this is going to make us incredibly tanky, but it is a bit sketchy. And then we're taking Delight in Destruction for plus 8% damage resistance per bleeding enemy in melee range. We use this in conjunction with Batter. And then into Dominate, plus 10% Rending for 10 seconds on Elite Kill. Into Toughness damage reduction again, and into Implacable, which gives us plus 15% damage reduction while charging melee attacks. And then we're going into the middle tree. We're going to be taking the Toughness boost. Into Attention Seeker, blocking or pushing enemies taunts them. And then into Payback Time, plus 20% damage for 5 seconds after being hit by a melee attack. Basically, we want things trying to hit us. The hit counts as well, even if you block the attack, so we still get payback time. Then into a toughness boost here, into Won't Give In, plus 20% damage reduction for each knocked down or incapacitated ally within 20 meters. This is going to make us incredibly tanky and basically allow us to clutch when we need to. Then into the health boost, and then we're taking Feel No Pain. You are blessed with 10 stacks of Feel No Pain. Each stack grants 2.5% toughness replenishment and 2.5% damage reduction. Taking damage removes one stack. Stacks are restored every 3 seconds. So this is also going to make us incredibly tanky. And then we're taking Pained Outburst. When Feel No Pain reaches 0 stacks, You push enemies back and replenish plus 20% toughness. This can only occur every 30 seconds. So if we are being overwhelmed, this is going to basically explode everything away from us. And this is also going to give you a very good defense against Chaos Hounds. Where the hell is that Chaos Hound gone? I have no... Oh, there it is. If a Chaos Hound jumps you and nobody is helping you get out, when you reach 0 stacks of Feel No Pain, this is going to knock it off of you. This is just an added bonus of taking Feel No Pain. I wouldn't rely on this every single time, but it is good for an emergency situation. So the build basically makes us very good at controlling the field and also allowing us to do more damage while we are taking damage. And with our weapon with momentum on and all of the talents up here, this is allowing us to farm back ridiculous amounts of toughness while fighting. But there you go, folks. That's a slightly more tanky version of the Bullknight build. I hope you enjoy it, and if you do, please do like and subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. It really does help us out, and I shall see you all for the next one. So until then, take it easy, and I'll see you later.